Welcome to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Tony Jacobs. This podcast is not just about making money. It's about creating a legacy that stands the test of time. From analyzing market trends to mastering negotiation skills, we will leave no stone unturned as we guide you through different stages of real estate investing. We will bring on industry leaders and share stories from the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So now, it's time to level up your real estate game. And there's no better way to do it than right here with us at the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast.
Let's go, world. First YouTube, and here we go in the books. Thank you for joining the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast. I got my brother over here, Marcus, who got me into the game of real estate. How you doing, Marcus?
What's happening, Marcus? Harvey here.
Yes. I had to bring you on since it's the first one I do, and I got plenty more to go.
Right.
How's your journey been? And then let's just collaborate when we got together, because we've known each other for years.
Oh yeah, man. Just this journey, this real estate journey has just been, just ups and downs, a bunch of emotions, a bunch of just like, it's just been crazy because like when I started talking to you about it, I remember you was trying to do something different. You wanted to get into something different. And I remember just like piquing your interest, and we go back and forth, and talking about stuff. Yeah. About real estate and about how to get in, how to, make some money and just business period. But man, the real estate journey been up and down, man. It's just been hard, but staying with it though, trying to stay consistent,
Always. Yeah. I remember, because we've known each other for many moons.
Man, the whole time I've been up here since like 01. I've been up here over 20 years.
Yeah. I came in 2000 from the Bay Area. And I remember it was just before we got together, just before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then you asked me if I wanted to go with you to the foreclosure at the courthouse. And then I was like, and I opened up my eyes, because I know a lot of people in town that didn't know how foreclosures was done. Because I remember the gentleman he's talking about. All I could think it was with the men from ZZ Top. That's what I think of. I was like, that's him right there.
Because I'm like, if you see him, you know that you're in the right place. If you see him out there and he's calling out all the trustee sales, got the long beard or whatever. Yeah, I'm like, you're in the right place. So
exactly, yeah. It was 11 o'clock on a Thursday.
Yeah,
11 o'clock on Thursday. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, so and then brought my mindset to a whole different level. Just because I know a lot of people. Yeah, we talk about a lot of multifamily here, but we talk about other types of investment too, because there's a wide range of investments that you can do with real estate.
Oh yeah.
And you brought my attention about the multifamily, which was huge to me, because I was like, how you could get all the returns on one roof with that many doors instead of a house that has only one door.
Yep. And then I remember just feeding you certain stuff, especially the Grant Cardone stuff and all of that, because he's multifamily. I just started I remember just starting to mention and tell you about how multifamily, you can make a lot more money doing it, this and that. Because at the same time, I'm learning, but I'm excited to tell you what I'm learning too.
Exactly.
At the same time. So it's trying to get into that game, that's like a whole different ball game. But just real estate period, trying to flip a house or wholesale a house or just trying to get in the game, it's hard because, man, there's just so many strategies you want to use. But then when you first getting in, you want to, probably try to wholesale if you ain't got much money. You want to get in, try to get you a fixer or something, or try to flip you a house real quick so you can make some money. But yeah, the multifamily is definitely where it's at. Since telling you about it too, and me learning, it's definitely, and finding out about Grant Cardone too, because I didn't even know who he was. But then watching his stuff too, that's really, I was like, oh snap.
Exactly. What I would say, what got you started into real estate investing?
Okay, so to start off, I say I was just a little kid in the 90s. My dad, he was just real estate agent for Century 21, you know what I'm saying? And he was just doing this thing, trying to learn the game. I remember as a kid, I remember one time he came home, he had just sold a house. He came home and like, I don't know if he opened his wallet or like he took it out and like just had it out. But I remember seeing the check, and the check was like 2-3 grand or something on commission, just selling the house. So I was like, damn, that, like as a kid, I'm thinking that's a lot of money, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I was talking to my dad and I was like, Dad, what else do you do? Because he worked full time. He's like, yeah, I'm doing real estate. I got my license, so I'm becoming a real estate agent. And then as I got older, I just started watching them and stuff. And then my grandfather started, investing in real estate early. So that's probably what got my dad interested too. So like just continued through the years, just started piquing my interest, started researching stuff, started like trying to figure it out. Where do I start? That's what piqued my interest.
Interest is
my dad.
Yeah. I've always been around real estate, but you opened up my eyes to a whole lot of things when it came to real estate. The two things that always sit with me and what I told you about is when God is not making any more land and he's not making any more dirt.
Yeah. Yep.
And when I heard those two things, it hit different.
Mm-hmm.
It hit completely different and everything. And you're right. Being a real estate agent, being in real estate market, anything real estate, it's not a fun ride. It can be a fun ride sometimes, but it takes a lot of work, a lot of discipline, a lot of concentration, a lot of commitment. It takes, sometimes it can just take your soul. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I need to step back a little bit and, inhale, exhale.
Yeah. It takes extreme focus and like really no distractions if you're trying to get to a certain level and trying to get this money, first starting off, you really gotta study, and depending on what strategy you use, like if you're trying to wholesale, man, try to learn from the best wholesaler.
Exactly.
Try to learn from maybe learn from a couple different people and then just take a little bit from each one. Because a lot of the game is going to be the same if you're talking about wholesaling. If you look at a bunch of different wholesalers, then you take a little bit of information from each one and just kind of, make it your own.
A little bit here and a little bit there.
Yep.
And I remember too, because I had worked in the hospital and I had actually written down some of the best advice that was ever given to me by a patient. And he wrote it down. I told him I was getting into real estate and I wanted to do real estate investing, like we had already talked and everything.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things he wrote down, it was just a little piece of paper that he had. He was like, when you want to purchase something, make sure you have that parcel number. He said that number right there is one of the most important things that you need to have written down. Mm-hmm. I still have that piece of paper. That piece of paper ain't going nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that come with real estate. If anybody out there wants to get into it, it can be very rewarding, but it's definitely challenging.
Yeah, for sure.
But you have to have that mindset. What type of mindset do you think you have to be in this game of real estate investing?
So just for real estate, you just, like I said, you got to be extremely just focused. You got to be committed. You got to, if you say you're going to do this, you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to go through all the emotions. You just got to stay committed and really just, you got to get through the pain of it, really. Just got to get through the pain. And once you figure out what you're going to do in real estate, once you figure out, okay, I'm going to do wholesaling. Okay, I'm just going to do sales or luxury, or I'm just going to do fix and flips. Then, so usually people just stay to that one strategy. But I mean, if you want to be, like a savvy investor, I guess that's what they call it. Then you want to know all the strategies, how to do sub twos, how to pick up pre-foreclosures, fix and flips, multifamily. You just want to know the game all the way around. But it's an overload of information too. So you don't want to overload yourself. You want to just start. I would just suggest wholesaling. If anybody's going to get in and, if you're not going to get your license just yet, just start wholesaling, because that's like the easiest strategy to get into. You don't really need a lot of money, small marketing money, if any. But if you're going to do it, just get into wholesaling to get your, pop your cherry or whatever, to get going.
Exactly. Yeah, because you're right, especially with the wholesaling. Yeah, it's an easy way, and you have to find which one's going to suit you better because there's so many different varieties to get into real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I just go for broke because the multifamily, but I study a lot too. But there's so much done with multifamily too. That's why everybody plays a huge part. It's like basically a big family. It's a syndication.
Yep.
Each one plays their part and plays their position as to make everything to complete.
Yep.
And then, we deal with the calculations. You have, it's just so much. It's so much. It can be overwhelming for one person to do. One person cannot do it.
Yeah.
But like you said, as long as you talk, even if you talk to certain people, read books.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many books I've read. I'm still reading like crazy. And like you said, do what's best for you that you can adapt to, because there's so much. Like there's right way of doing something, there's a wrong way to do something, but there's also a way where you feel comfortable doing it a certain way.
Right. And then also you just gotta figure out, like, if you're gonna do the real estate thing, you gotta figure out like what's your goals, what you want out of it, because there's, like I said, so many different strategies to use in certain situations. But you gotta figure out, like, okay, do I want to get my license? Do I just want to like invest? Should I tamper with some luxury home sales? Like, that's what I want to get into with you. That's why I want to get my license, because you told me about that program. I'm like, oh man, it's a lot of money. So I want to get in, but it's really hard. You got to stay committed. And even if like say you love your job or whatever, and you just need extra money, just do wholesaling real quick and just get to get some quick money, to get some quick checks. You just do the wholesaling on the side. But then most of the time when people get into real estate, they start wholesaling, they start dipping into other strategies, and then figuring out, I want to do this full time. Yes. I don't want to do my job no more type thing. So,
And I view right now with home selling, also kind of along the lines of like the apartment syndication when it comes to homes. Like affordable housing is huge right now.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you, we've done some trips. The housing market is horrible right now. Of all the homes we've seen boarded up and everything, and then we talk about affordable housing, but then we have all these abandoned homes.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any type of sense.
And I just don't understand it, like why either more counties and cities don't do anything about these properties, or why just more investors don't like buy up these places. Numbers got to be right, of course, when you're investing, but it's just like there's so many just vacant, abandoned properties out here. So, like, people should just be taking advantage, just eating it up.
Exactly.
But on the flip side of it too, it's like you reach out to an owner that has a vacant or abandoned property, they might not want to give it up for whatever reason. They might not just want to give it up. So it's like, damn, you got to fight through the numbers to try to figure out who's motivated, who's not, to get these deals.
And I think that's the key, the motivation. Like I remember I told you about a house that was on the other side of town.
Mm-hmm.
The individual lived in another state, but the house was empty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she said that, oh no, I'm using this as an investment.
Yeah.
How can you use an investment when you live in another part of this country?
Yeah.
And there's nothing in it, and the weeds are taller than me.
Yeah. Like, what kind of investment are you using it for? Are you renting it out, or are you just, are you gonna rent it out, or are you gonna Airbnb it, or are you gonna flip? Are you gonna flip the thing? Like,
short-term rental, anything.
Yeah, what kind of investment are you talking about? Because if it's just gonna sit there, that don't sound like no investment.
Me,
you ain't bringing in no money.
You're paying taxes no matter where you're coming from.
Right.
And to this very day, because I've talked to my boy who lives over there, the house is still vacant.
Of course it is. Of course it is, and that's how it be sometimes, man. Because it's some of these sellers and owners, they've had these houses for years, and sometimes it gets passed down through generations, and even the new generation of family don't want to get rid of grandma's house or grandpa's house or something, because it's an emotional attachment,
sentimental value.
Right. And if they do get rid of it, they feel like, oh, I want to get the most I can, even though if it's in this condition, I want to get top dollar for it, because this is my grandma's house. It's like, nah, man, hold on.
Yeah, and I tell people you have to get realistic.
Yeah,
because if a house is going to be dealt with a whole lot of work,
yeah,
then what's the value going to be?
Right. It's all numbers. It's a numbers game. You have to go by the numbers. And if it's not going to be a sound investment number-wise, then it's not going to work for you. Don't force it because you might lose money. And you can't be in this game trying to lose money, No.
You don't
want to lose any money, because that's the point of business is to profit. So
exactly,
you're dealing with houses and properties and stuff. There's a lot that goes into it: paperwork, checking titles, and making sure stuff is on the up and up when you close on a property, on the deal.
Exactly, and that home inspection better look nice too.
Yeah. No matter what, if the home doesn't look like it needs anything, or even if it, especially if it does need something, you want a home inspection to check out everything.
And actually, the two things that is really big with me with home inspection is roof and plumbing.
Yeah.
Because even if you had a good roof and everything looks solid and everything, we don't know how the plumbing looks.
Right.
I've heard some horror stories about people like, oh my goodness, everything was immaculate, everything was good, but when it got to the plumbing, whole different scenario. Whole different scenario.
Right.
So what do you think what's going to happen with the market right now? Because right now it's just like everything's up in the air with the market right now.
Yeah. So this is my evaluation. This is my take on it, man. If inflation don't get any better, man, the market might not get any better. The real estate market might not get any better if inflation don't get any better. All the way around, I think if there's more programs for affordable housing and to get into the buying process a little easier for people, it might help. But this inflation is just killing right now. So it's just like, man, how can we even talk about affordable mortgage rates and stuff like that when inflation is just crazy?
Exactly.
I mean, there's money to be made, but you just gotta figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it. Or do you want to continue wholesaling? Do you want to buy a multifamily to create some money? Do you just want to buy a house just for your family? Is it a good time just to buy a house for your family? Just all of that is so many. Man, it's just hard to say right now, especially with the inflation thing, man. It's hard to say where this market is going. But it's not to say there's not deals out there. There's still,
Oh yeah, I tell people regardless what the interest rate is or was. I mean, people are still buying homes no matter what. There's people that buy homes every day.
Right. Yeah.
It's just when it comes down to it, I tell people it's how good your negotiation skills are. Negotiation, who represents you, plays a huge part in it. Remember, everybody needs a roof over their head.
Right. Exactly. So I'm starting to hear, even I don't know how true it is, but I'm even starting to hear people with the best credit and got money is hard to buy, property, and hard to buy, homes and stuff like that. People that can qualify, got good credit scores, income's just right. I'm even hearing them people is just not saying they're getting turned down, but they're having difficulty sometimes getting financed because just the way it is right now. Yeah, just the way it is. It's just tough. Inflation's tough. They want to make sure, I guess banks want to make sure you can afford that property, especially if it's not a property that's not bringing you in any income. Then they want to make sure, okay, can they handle the insurance, the mortgage, and everything that comes along with it? That's why I'm stressing on my first one has to be multifamily so I can get that income coming in. I don't mind living in a unit, living in one of the units if I have to, but I have to do multifamily as my first purchase,
Yes.
As far as getting in rental income, it has to be a multifamily. Other than that, I'm just going to keep trying to wholesale, work on getting my license so I can get in that program with you.
Exactly.
Keep it moving, man. Just, and
I'm thinking of it too, like, look at all these jobs. There's so many jobs that pay really, really high, but look what everything, and I've talked this in several podcasts about COVID and stuff, how it's changed the world, changed every aspect of life that has come around us. Yeah. Everything is higher. Look at the pandemic. What was the shortage first was toilet paper. Then what was the other shortage was baby food. Yeah. What was the other shortage was eggs. Everything has a shortage. no one's really full scale at their companies for jobs. People are still working remotely. There's people who don't want to go back into working.
Right.
People are making they're making money, but everything, the cost of living has gone up tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like it's ridiculous how much money has gone up, and then you're like, hold on, you can't really get ahead, even though you got a raise or a bump or raise in your job.
Yeah.
When everything else is going up too, it can't work out that way.
No, it just doesn't even out the same, man. It's just no matter what company you go work for, how much they promise you, what they're going to tell you, oh, we'll give you a raise. It's not going to build you that wealth that you want to build, man. Like, you got to just be able to own businesses and own some assets for you to really attain true freedom and true wealth, to me, because, man, a job is just going to get you through, man. It's going to help pay the bills. It's going to, help you, try to stay afloat. But,
you talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
What JOB stands for, just over broke.
Just over broke.
That's what job stands for. It's just over broke. They want you to make enough money where you definitely need to come back.
Mm-hmm. You work for 2 weeks. They give you just enough for 2 weeks, so you can come back, work 2 more weeks, and it's a cycle. And then they 2-week cycle.
They're so nice and polite that they give you 48 hours off.
Ain't that a bitch? You mean to tell me you only give me 2 days off? Like, no, yeah. I can't do that for 30, 40 years. Yes. Man, I gotta be able to be on my time and just be able to, because at the end of the day, man, people's bills are what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
you know what your regular bills are, what you need to pay every month. Now, everything else that comes out of the blue are emergencies or just stuff that maybe you've been wanting to save to work for. That's fine, but like, everybody knows their number every month.
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
My number for rent, utilities, car payments, insurance. This is my number. All that together, this is my number. So they know you know your number. Mm-hmm. It's just being able to get that number on your own and then going from there.
Exactly.
I'm saying maintaining that number every month so you can stay afloat with your regular bills and then just start building wealth.
Yes.
From there, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck at no job, 401k and all that. That's nothing.
Anybody who has a 401k, I talked to one of my guys. He knew somebody had a 401k. They never kept track of their 401k, and they just nonchalantly told him, like, I probably lost like 30, 40,000.
Ooh.
Because they didn't move it over. They didn't move anything over to an IRA or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And that could have been 30, 40,000 you could have used for an investment, to put towards some kind of investment.
Exactly.
Whether it's stocks, real estate, crypto, whatever you're trying to do, you could have just, or get into a business, buy a business or something. That could have been a down payment on something to make you more money.
I think right now, when it comes to real estate,
mm-hmm.
with real estate, money, job, wealth,
mm-hmm.
there's a lot. The financial literacy right now that we have in this country is depleted.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people are getting their information.
Attention realtors. First impressions are so important for real estate sales. Having a clean logo with easy-to-read information can impress a buyer and potentially get you that sale. Here at Boundary Waters, we excel at first impressions. If you need a logo or lawn signs, give us a call. Our experience at signs and banners have been proven for over a decade. Give us a call, 530-221-2151. Again, that's 530-221-2151. Boundary Waters Screen Printing, home of the Surf Ninja. www.boundarywatersinc.com.
Some of them are getting information off of YouTube, watching videos, or being around a person that really knows what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of other people are in the rat race, and all they have a tunnel vision, which is work 8 hours, get off, watch the Netflix, Hulu. Which I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I do the same thing too.
Right, relax.
But just relax. they're relaxed and they're content on where they at in life.
Right.
But that content in life right there, that can be a person's downfall.
It can be, because you don't realize how quick you can lose your job like that. Anything could happen. They can fire you tomorrow types. And then what are you going to do?
Exactly.
So it's like
me and my boy said, they ain't going to fire you on Monday. They're going to fire you on Friday. Thank you for your services. On to the next.
Yeah. And they plan it like that.
Yes.
They plan it like that. Okay. They know from the beginning of the week, okay, we about to let Tony go on Friday. We'll make it on Friday so he can have a good weekend. And by Monday, he can forget that he got fired on Friday.
Yes.
I'm like, come on, man. That's just, and then at the same time, you know what's so crazy about a job, speaking of jobs, is that, you know, they want you to give them 2 weeks when you get ready to leave.
Go ahead.
They want you to give them 2 weeks when you get ready to go get another job or quit or whatever. But they don't give you 2 weeks when they want to fire you.
Exactly.
So you can go look for another job.
Exactly.
They fire you like that.
They want to give you. They want you to give them some courtesy by doing that. By giving 2 weeks.
Right.
I know exactly what you're just gonna say too.
That's what's crazy about it. That's what's crazy. And people like back in the day, like the old timers, like our parents and even our grandparents are like job security, go to school. And they're on that old message of go to school, go to college, study. And when you come out of college, you'll have the job you want. You can buy a house. And man, that's not the plan no more, man. That's the old plan.
I don't knock on anybody who wants to go to school and everything.
Right.
That American dream that we was taught, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's not a dream no more, man.
And a lot of people who go to college, like I know doctors who've been doctors for the longest, they're still paying off.
Yeah.
They're still paying off of schooling.
Yeah, I bet. You hear them talk about it?
They still doing it. But yeah, it's just crazy how just the financial literacy, getting the information. And I mean, the information is free. You don't even have to go to you don't have to go to a webinar, or you don't have to go to a convention or a conference or anything. I've learned a lot of stuff off of people off like free ebooks.
Just free ebooks, YouTube, free informational YouTube videos, and just searching Google for stuff you need to find out. Like
the number one search engine in the world.
Yeah, like why go to college for it when you can just look up what you need to know, except if you're going to be a doctor, lawyer,
yes,
you know, some kind of professional career that's going to need college and credits and stuff like that. Exactly. Of course, go to school and learn that. But man, everything else can just be picked up from just online and then training here and there.
I like with my daughter, she didn't go to a 4-year school, but she went to a trade school. And that's a slept on area that people don't do is go to a schooling. If they have a schooling for a specific thing that you need to do or you want to do, you go about doing it that way. You don't have to do 4 years of school.
No, you don't. You don't. Just go to specific training. If you want to be a bricklayer, they got training just so you can learn how to become a bricklayer. If you want to do electricity, you go through this program to be a journeyman electrician, or how far you want to go with electricity or electrician or that kind of industry. It's just, you don't even have to go to college anymore just for that. Just find out what you're trying to do, go into a program, focusing on that, learn it, and then you can be able to make money, you know?
And then what's crazy, because I've always thought when it comes to jobs and everything, especially with dealing with real estate, you get your real estate license and everything.
Yeah.
Now you got your license. Now you're dealing with people with wealth,
millions
beyond millions of dollars.
Yep.
It's a whole different ball game when it comes to real estate.
Yeah.
What is it? 90% of the millionaires have real estate.
Yeah, that's what the statistics, the numbers say. 90% of the millionaires and billionaires invest in real estate. So in some form or fashion. They, put their money to work in real estate, putting in this, if it's skyscrapers, if it's multifamily, flipping.
Oh, even another one that I listen to a lot of people too is mobile home parks.
Oh yeah, there's big money in mobile home
parks. Is huge. Yes.
I wasn't even seeing it for a while, and then I ran across this couple online, a husband-wife couple. Man, they killing it on mobile home parks. They killing it. like making a lot of money off fixing and flipping mobile homes, and
Exactly.
It's cheaper, low entries to start off. You know, the homes are a lot cheaper to get into, so it's like mobile homes are a money maker too. As far as land too, land is a money maker.
Land, you can't go wrong with land.
No, you can't. And then you can turn it into anything. You can turn it into a parking lot, start charging people to park there.
It's just
it's just so much you can do. So I think back in the day, I remember my dad telling me my grandfather invested into a parking lot, and on that parking lot, like right across the way, was like one of them oil pumps, them old school oil pumps.
Yes.
And I think my granddad like benefited off that some kind of way because that oil pump was so close to his property or something. Yeah. I'm not sure because I was a kid, so I don't know if he did or not. But I remember my dad saying, your grandfather owned a parking lot as well as, you know, rental property and stuff like that. But he had some investments. I was like, I never really realized it until like I got older. So
wow, that is great right there. Just hand it down from, especially if you can hand this stuff down from generation to generation.
Oh yeah,
because that's what I plan on doing to my family right there, because you know it'll help them out in the long run, even though they're both both my daughters are smart and everything. Yeah, real estate I feel it's just the way to go. Like there's other people who have different knacks, and another one I've been studying on is, so me and you was talking about this before, another type of real estate, and it's called digital real estate. It's like dealing with the YouTube, with the information, your channel, like a lot of that, like it's huge. Like we were talking about, Google is, if you want to find any information, everybody Googles.
Right.
It's the number one search engine in the world.
Yeah.
Number two, it's not TikTok, it's not Facebook,
no,
it's not Twitter, it's actually YouTube. Because why? Google bought YouTube.
Yep.
Collaborate together, and it's just a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, they're actually benefiting off, it's called digital real estate, because they're sending a lot of information on YouTube about real estate.
Right.
And they said the stat is, and I won't forget this, they said by 2025 that the digital part of, when it comes to YouTube and like information, e-courses and stuff and everything, all together, it's going to be a $50 billion industry by 2025.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because I've received so much information off the internet, off a lot of ebooks, great resourceful ebooks. Like none of them are garbage to me. There's some like you keep on reading, but then you find a gem, and then I mark that. But all my information that I've received have been like gems to me, and I actually write them down all the time. And if I need a refresher, I have an index card full of different quotes and information that I write that refresh my memory.
I've been doing that too. I'll just jot down little things on my phone, even write down some stuff. I'll just whatever that can help my memory and just, you know, refresh things that I had forgotten before.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, that's something I like try to keep mindful of doing. My mindset's always changing because I'm always trying to get better as a person. I'm always just trying to, you know, treat people better, trying to be more professional in business, and just all around have just a good attitude about life, you know.
Exactly. You know, I have this line that goes, respectful people. It's not respectful people. It's, you know, real people recognize real people, but a person recognizes when someone's good.
Yeah.
A person does recognize when someone's good.
You feel that energy too.
You feel that energy. The energy is not tainted or off balance or anything. You can actually feel a genuine about a person by the way they talk, by the way they look, the mannerism.
Right.
Even the most old school way, when you look at them in the eyes. When you look in the eyes, it tells a whole lot about them. A whole lot about them, because if you look at a person, you know, looking down this way or listening to that, like, you really don't have that much confidence in you.
Yeah, it's kind of like low self-esteem-ish.
Yeah.
Not that much confidence. And it's just like, man, just like, okay, you don't want to like keep staring at a person's eyes, but you want to feel confident when you do talk to somebody.
Exactly.
Somebody you don't want to be like,
just drifting off.
Yeah, drifting or being scary or seeming fearful. You know what I mean? You want to be confident in your conversation. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. That's one thing in real estate I've been trying to get past too, is making sure my confidence is up to be able to talk to sellers, talk to people, come across knowing what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Making sure it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, because, I've been researching and doing this for a while. So I do know what I'm talking about, but there's still a lot for me to learn as well. I don't know everything, but I'm learning as I go. And I'm meeting the same type of like-minded people such as yourself to try to do deals, do business, and make business happen. Man.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot on the internet I've been listening to and watching, and it says about that. Make sure who's around your circle.
Yeah.
Around your circle plays a huge part.
Mm-hmm.
If your goal is to be into real estate and to be a real estate agent, or into invest, or flip homes, or do mobile home parks, or do multifamily, or do anything, any variety of things.
Yeah.
Hopefully you find your right niche right there. But anything that you want to be surrounded by people like that. You don't want to be around a person that's going to be always doubtful, like, no, you can't do that, and you're not going to be around. You don't need to be around that negativity. Negativity gets you nowhere.
Yeah, no confidence killers around, man. That's one thing about this. If you're gonna do this entrepreneur life, or if you want to get into business, real estate, any kind of just working for yourself type of atmosphere, you have to be professional, and you have to have confidence, and you have to just keep learning. You have to just keep on doing your homework. You got to don't think you know it all. You'll always run across stuff that you don't know, and someone else can teach you. That's the I think just the key of life. Just always just kind of be a student. Don't just think you can be a masterful teacher. Always be a student, because you can always learn. There's always new things coming out, laws. Just always stay a student is what I say. Be humble, but be confident. Be humble, but be confident. That way that how you come across yourself, and you wake up in the morning and you look in that mirror and you're like, okay, I'm ready to seize this day, and I feel confident to talk to whoever I need to talk to and to take care of business.
Exactly. If I talk to someone and I say good morning, they'll say good morning. And how am I doing? They ask me, how am I doing today? And what I go to and say is, I said, I'm actually doing great, actually. Not doing good, I'm doing great. Because there's some people who don't wake up.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
I said, when we wake up in the morning, we're winning. Yeah. We've already won. We've already made it to another day.
Yeah.
We've already made it to another day.
Just by waking up, God giving you that another chance.
Exactly.
At life,
And then, I'm glad you said, with people, that you need to be around people with positive energy and everything. I even got to thank you, because with my you're definitely my mentor, but then my other mentor, we still collaborate. Yeah. We with the same brokerage, but we're not anymore. But we still stick together glue.
Oh yeah.
And he helps me out in everything still.
Yeah.
And it's just being around and surrounded by people, because when you help people out and everything, it brings a stronger bond with each other.
Mm-hmm.
A stronger bond, and you get educated. Because if I think I know something, I'll be correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is what I've seen, or this is how it's been dealt with.
Right.
But if I'm doing it wrong, and then they tell me why, in a subtle way, that I'm doing it wrong, and this is a better way of going about it. Oh, I'm gonna eat up that information.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. No, I'm gonna listen to you, because I said this. My line is experience telling people your experience shows time of how you came about doing things.
Right. Yep. Exactly. I like that.
Yeah. So I got that off the top of my dome too.
Sure.
But because there's a certain way I said, no, this is what it is. I remember now. I say experience speaks for itself.
Okay.
Yeah. Experience speaks for itself. If someone does something, I'm going to listen to them.
Right.
And especially they're successful too.
Yeah.
Or go about it the right way, or anything to help me with dealing with people. Because like what you're talking about, there's all different types of people, but everybody's personality is different.
Right.
You might get someone that's real subtle, laid back. Then you get someone who's kind of aggressive. Like, hey, why you want to know about this? Well, and then you have to come at them at a firm way, but a hospitable way.
Exactly. There's so many different personalities out there to adjust to. If you're the type of person that can just get out there and you can adjust and like chameleon yourself to like people, then you're pretty dangerous right there. Because that way, if you can adjust, and adapt, that means you can get things done. You can get things done that you want to get done if you can adjust and adapt to certain individuals and learn different personalities. And like you said, right off bat, you come across an aggressive person, you'd be like, okay, I know how to take this person because they're coming off aggressive right off top.
Yep.
And then another person that they're like shy acting, and you'd be like, okay, let me kind of help this person because they seem shy. Let me kind of build this person a little bit of confidence.
Exactly.
Or help them out. So it's like, you just got to adapt to the personalities. That's what I think too is one thing to be successful. If you can adapt to different personalities, that's going to make you a lot very successful, and it'll help you get a lot of more business done, because just being one way and not thinking about how you come across to people and how people are receptive towards you, like you have to gauge that too. You do gauge that, so you're not coming off aggressive. You got to be, use it when you have to.
Exactly.
Just use it when you have to.
Yeah, it's always been told to me that I can talk to anyone because I just love talking to people. And that is right. It's just the way you come at people, the way you talk to people. It goes a long way. I remember one time I was going to get an apartment. It was many moons ago. I was going to get an apartment, and the gentleman wanted to meet me. And the reason why he wanted to meet me is because my handwriting was so on point. He's like, I was going to give you the apartment just off your handwriting, but I wanted to meet you in person. And then when he met me in person, he's like, you know what? You got the apartment.
That's dope. Just off of your handwriting, he's like, I like the way this person writes. He must be this type of individual in his mind.
Because he didn't even live around here. He lived in the Bay Area.
Oh, nice.
He came all the way up here. Yeah.
That's what I've been noticing, to go back to real estate real quick. That's what I've been noticing too. There's so many out of town owners, like Bay Area. There's so many out of town property owners that come up here. They buy property. I've even seen them at the trustee sale, at the foreclosure trustee sale at the courthouse. I remember meeting one of my first cash buyers that I put on my list. She lives up here, but she buys for people in the Bay Area. She works for a company and buys for people in the Bay Area.
Wow.
Just single family homes and other little investments that they can buy, flip, and stuff like that. Yeah.
They got that Bay Area money down there.
Yeah, exactly. They bring that Bay Area money up here where it's a lot cheaper, and they buy property up here.
Exactly.
Making it happen and stuff. So
yeah. All right, brother. Now I'm glad we did this. This is my first, the first one of many to come out.
Oh, we're gonna do some more too.
Oh yeah.
This is the first one. Hopefully, you guys enjoy. Whoever's watching enjoyed this podcast. I'm gonna be doing a lot more with my guy right here, Tony, the professionalist. I like it.
And the reason why I call it the professionalist is it's not me. I just like we was talking about. Everybody has their own opinion or way of doing things, and I think it's like you put it all together into one.
Right.
So like I talk with you, then I got my boy Rob, who's very intellect on a lot of things and everything, and he brings in a lot of advice. And I have different people. I just like doing. I just want to be different from everybody else.
Of course.
I wanted to be unique with the name The Perfectionist, because I view each person that they have some type of professionalism in them.
Right.
And they can bring it to the forefront of the world.
Yep.
To the world. So that's how I view it.
Yeah.
It's not. I tell people it's not me. I'm not the professionalist. It's the people that I'm involved with.
Right. Because like you said, in some form or fashion, they have some kind of professionalism in them that you can talk about, whether it's what they do for business.
Exactly. Even
investment,
life.
Yeah, just with life, just how they carry their life as a professional, or how they carry their life as just being who they are,
Exactly.
So
we got more to come. Just had to knock this one out the way.
Oh, yeah, the first one, yeah.
And that's I had to bring the man, the myth, the legend.
For sure.
Because he got me into it. Like I was just listening to it and everything, but then Marcus, brother, you grabbed my attention to it, and shoot, I've been going full throttle.
No doubt. What the craziest thing to me is, I was like putting you on all the information on the real estate and some business stuff, and you ended up getting your license before me. So I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, but still, like we still work together like no other. So
of course,
like anytime I got any advice, I take it your way and everything. So like everything is just it's great. It's great. God's good. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, this journey has been awesome. And just to close out, anybody who's trying to get in this business, anybody who's trying to get in any business, multiple businesses you guys trying to maintain, keep your head up, stay confident. Just know that you can, if you're going to do this entrepreneur lifestyle, just know it's not easy. It's going to be some long days, late nights, but it's going to be worth it in the end. That's what I keep telling myself on this journey, is just to keep my head up, keep positive people around me, and just, you got to stay grinding. You got to stay working, and just know what you want. And once you know what you want and your goals, they'll all line up. So that's just something I want to say to everybody that's trying to do this, within any business,
Exactly. Because you appreciate it more. If something's given to you, you don't appreciate it.
Right.
But when you work hard for it, you appreciate it more. You'll remember the trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
Anything that happens with me, I just remember one time. Well, then that second time, I remember how to adjust.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen again.
Right. Exactly.
So and like you said, it's a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a marathon, and you don't want nothing given to you. You never do it because you won't appreciate it. But when you appreciate the hurdles, the trials and tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different way of just doing things and feeling about yourself. Yep. And you'll feel accomplished.
Yeah, fall in love with the process.
Exactly.
You have to fall in love with the process, because if you don't, it will be hard. So you have to fall in love. What did Tyson say? Discipline is doing something you don't like doing, but you do it like you love it. You know what I mean? So
Amen.
That's all I got to say. Thank you, man.
Hey, no problem. And then, follow the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast. It's on Apple, Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get this up on the YouTube channel. And hey, look out for us. We're gonna be slapping some videos out. I'm gonna be interviewing a lot of people, and brother man Marcus, come anytime you want.
I'll be back again. I'll see y'all real soon. Trust and believe.
Peace.